As we gather in this time and space, I pay my deepest respects to the traditional custodians of all the lands that we gather. I thank them for their upkeep of this great land for the last 60, 70,000 years. We are this land is us, together we are one. As we move forward in this time, we must take stock of who we are and where we come from. Time is of the utmost importance for the young leaders and the future custodians of this great land. Healing past injustices as we move forward is of the utmost importance for the future leaders of this great land. We are this land is us, together we are one. So welcome. My name's Warren Mason. I'm a very proud First Nations man from a small country town called Gadooga, which is in far western New South Wales. I now call Tasmania home. So I'm here to share my story about the Tin Camp Studio. I was very lucky. No, it's not luck. It's work hard, perseverance. Surround yourself with people that believe in what you do and the reason why you do it. So the Tin Camp Studio is a safe place for people to share. It's whether it be music, whether it be storytelling, dance, it's a safe environment. And it's modelled on 1930s to 1960s Aboriginal housings on the outskirts of towns all throughout Australia. That's where they put all the First Nations people. In my life, my grandfather, him and his family were the first Indigenous family to be able to live in the outskirts of the small town of Gadooga, where I come from. The Yuwaalaraay people, very proud people. So growing up, I was an uptown nigger. I lived in town, straight across the road from the police station. All my mates lived down the river in tin camps. And I was of the age where I questioned why do I get to live up here, and why do they not have the opportunities like I have from living in town? And it's from the sacrifices that my dad and my grandfather and all that generation of people took to move forward in this country. This country was born on stolen land, rape and pillage of land and its people. And I've been very lucky in my life to be able to be the one that tells the story, and that's what the Tin Camp Studio is. It was at the last regional arts conference in Bendigo. I done a little presentation. I was a visual artist at that time, with the great help from my beautiful friend Denise. Thank you very much. She believed in my art when I first come to Tassie, just about 15 years ago now, and I went and spoke to Denise at Tas Arts, and she believed in what I was doing. And I was a visual artist, and I was back home in Gaduga visiting my dad, who was pretty sick at that time. And on my way back to Tassie, I drove through Bendigo, and I ended up at the Bendigo conference, and I got a chance to present there. I presented a piece called The Art. Our art helps with healing of the heart. And it was all those past experiences I had growing up. I was a proper little white boy, went to church every weekend, but I had the darker skin, so there's my life growing up, and I've always had this great opportunities, and I put myself in positions where I can do things like this, where I've got everyone's undivided attention right at this point in time, and I feel like I'm very privileged to have that, and I thank you all for coming. So the Tin Camp Studio, I found it a little bit difficult in visual arts in Tasmania. I think it was hard to break in. I had a couple of exhibitions, sold a few pieces, but it was never a constant. And so I needed a way to be able to, instead of telling one story a year, I'd like to tell a story. I can tell 10, 15 stories in one night. And I always had love for music, and I play a lot of guitar. I'm a self-taught guitarist. I play heaps and heaps and heaps, probably too much sometimes. But I'm here, and the Tin Camp Studio was a vision of mine to create a space for people to share music. And I got that great opportunity through the love and guidance of Ruth Langford and the Nyara Good Spirit Festival on Bruny Island. I was one of their interns, and they had a passion project. They give the interns a passion. No, the interns got to realise something that is a dream for them, and mine was a Tin Camp Studio. So as we're going through these thingies, so I can't see them, so I don't know which ones are coming up. So and so my passion project was the Tin Camp Studio. So I went down and I spent 4 weeks on Bruny Island. We built a beautiful 6x6 tin camp, and we run music sessions on every night of the festival. And I had 2 artists that I signed for the gig, and everyone else that played in the tin camp in that festival was off the ground. So people that walked through the tin camp felt comfortable enough to have a go at the guitar, and when I asked them did they want to play, and they were there and they were playing. So it's one of the things that the tin camp does, is give everyone opportunities. Because I've been given heaps of opportunities in my life, and you have to take your opportunities when you get them. So now the tin camp's sort of growing a little bit out of control, and I've probably got 6 maybe tin camps, a couple in production. I've got one at the Sorrel High School with their building department. I went to their school with the great help from some friends at the school, and so we're building a 3x3 tin camp so they can put in their playground so they can play music at lunchtimes. And I said, yeah, I'd like to be involved in that project. So that one's on the build. I've been very lucky. No, I've got to stop saying that. It's not luck. It's about putting yourself in the right position. Through the Tasmanian government, the federal government, they believe in my project, and I've been lucky enough to access funding to build one that'll pop out of the back of a shipping container. I think you've seen it at the first couple of slides. That's due to go. It's in the planning process at the moment. So it's at the architect and the building surveyors and the engineers are going over all the processes of making sure it's not going to blow away when I stick it up in festivals. So I'm just rolling along, and I play a heap of music. I play gigs. I meet people that I think I'd like to have them to be part of what the Tin Camp is. I talk to sound guys. I talk to people who do camera work, because it's my vision for the Tin Camp to be there within the Australian festival environment, in the world festival environment. Stick it in the shipping container, send it there, set it up, and let's tell some stories. That's what the Tin Camp is for me. So the opening of the mobile Tin Camp is going to be at Mona Foamer in Launceston next January. Please come along if you're from Launceston. If you're not from Launceston, come up anyway. Be there, and then it's going to the Pangaea Festival at Buckland, and then back to Nyara where it started on Bruny Island. So it was always my plan to get the mobile version done and hit the mainland, but we know what went on the mainland. There's nothing going on at all. I feel sorry for those people. We live in this beautiful state that it's like hardly anything really happened. But I do know that that first lot of lockdown that happened, those first 14 days when you weren't allowed to leave your house, unless it was for exercise. I live on the beach, so I went surfing. But I had the chance to sit and think and dream and create. And that's what's happening. That first bit of lockdown gave me the opportunity to sit back, breathe, work out where I wanted to go next with the Tin Camp and how to get there. I have great support from my beautiful friend Kath Melbourne. And I love you, sis, so much. And we're on this journey, and I meet people and I ask them whether they want to be involved. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't know how long I'll be building, but I hope to be able to skill young people up within the Tin Camp system to be the builders. They be the ones that take it and set it up, and I'll just turn up there out of the blue and say, hey, how you going? That could be the plan. But that's all in the pipeline. I'm talking to people about training, skilling up young people to be what the Tin Camp is. And the Tin Camp is a creative space for people to share, whether it be music, arts, culture, whatever it is. And so like I got no idea what the time is or anything like that. So someone whistle or something. But like I'm up for questions. If anyone would like to ask any questions. Ooh, quietness. Yeah. Well, I've been very privileged in my upbringing. My dad was a very beautiful man. He was tough on me and was like, but he was a very beautiful man, and he could fit into any situations and talk within that group and make everyone feel comfortable. That's a gift that I've inherited from him, and that's from to and from any cultures. I can sit and chat. It's all right, Google. So. Yeah, and I think one of the other things that has been a benefit to me, I'm self-taught out of stuff that I do. My dad was always have a go at whatever you want to have a go at, and so what I bring is sometimes different to what other people bring, whether it be through music or story. I never got taught to tell a story. It wasn't something that I was taught to do. I was taught to sit and listen, don't say a word, because that's sit back there and listen to the old people talk. And that's how you get your stories, and that's how you learn how to behave. And so I've been very lucky in that space. There is luck again. I am a lucky man, I tell you. But I am a voice. I am a voice for the Indigenous peoples. Like I've been given this opportunity to be able to be here and maybe touch people or teach people something that they haven't come across before. And because every Indigenous person in this country is on a journey of healing, healing past injustices passed to them by their parents that got them off their parents and off the parents of great grandparents. Like all those traumas, they travel. It's called intergenerational trauma, and that's what it is. So I've been given the opportunity to not only heal my own scars, but maybe scars of other people, because I've been given this opportunity, and I thank everyone for that opportunity. I'm very privileged to have that opportunity. So I think I'll just do my best.
Now that I've got a microphone, I think I've forgotten my question.
Sing a song.
When listening to you talk about those stories and the importance of those stories and the power of those stories for healing, I just wondered, do you do any recording of those stories as part of the Tin Camp, or is it?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
The Tin Camp is a recording studio. It's like just to record. When the Bruny Island one, it was a 3-day festival. I probably had about 20 acts over the 3 weekends, not coming in and out. And I think we ended up with 6 to 8 hours worth of video and audio, where they're just sitting in this little compartment waiting to be able to get sorted out. But that's the chance, like, I can get that recording and pass them on to the people from those, and it's a win-win. I think it'll be through a website sort of setup, yeah. What is the other one? Spotify. Well, there's more of them in there.
Hello. Okay, so me, I have a question about, so you say the Tin Camp is a space, so in a sense it's a lot of things, but it's also an object, which is in tin, and it makes sense it's in tin for what you say, for what, I mean, okay, my question is, do you think the purpose of the tin can in the space inside, what is happening, or it is also the object itself in tin traveling? Is it a wall or?
It's all those. It's like the tin. The connection to the tin is these small camps on the outskirts of towns throughout Australia. They were made out of salvaged materials. So the easiest things for cladding is tin. So where I grew up, I remember there being about 30 of them down on the river, and they were beautifully kept. They were all painted. Some of those ones that were in those photos on that sign, they were all like beautiful things. And so the tin was the closest thing. There was no insulation. They used to use hessian bags. They'd put them all over the walls and spray them with water in the middle of summer when it's 50 degrees. And let the wind blow through, and it's sort of like a bit of a air conditioned type setup. But the tin has the relevance of the salvaged materials. Make do with what you got. That's how it works.
So could you imagine the tin camp like the version we travel to change, or the tin in itself is really important, like the architecture, this object which has been made the first time? Is it like something?
Yeah, it's the tin. It's the tin. The tin. The feel of the tin is a connection to that salvaged. And that's what was easy to access to build places out of.
Thanks, Warren. I'm really interested in the impact of the Tin Camp on audiences. It's a cool space, and I really love the way it looks, but it's also an intervention into history, and it's a baller one as well. Like, it's a big reminder. And so, does it function in that regards? Does it inspire a lot of
it's
conversation as well as the enjoyment?
It's the story. Like, it's the story of how people were taken off their homelands and put in spaces where there was overcrowded, there was different tribal areas, all come together, and within my community now they still don't get on. Like, because the people come from different tribes and they put them all into one spot, there's that friction runs through their families since ever. And yeah, so it's just like, it's that story. It's the chance to tell the story. That's what I'm hoping. That's what the plan is. Yeah. Yeah, because I still haven't watched that documentary, in the Incarceration Nation. I haven't brought myself to sit down and watch it. I've seen shorts of it, and it's exactly who we are. This is why we are, why people struggle, why there's still Aboriginal deaths in custody, while there's still overcrowding in towns, and why people are still fighting for land. It's all in that documentary, and I only seen the shorts. But I try my hardest to be positive in my outlook on life. I know that within Tasmania, in the last, let's just say, 10 years, Tassie has come further than any other state in Australia in the relations with the Indigenous people, First Nations peoples. And that's from someone who's been to these other places and seen injustices brought upon them. I think the Tasmanian people are moving forward faster than the rest of the country is at this point in time. And I'm proud to be here and be a little bit a part of it. I'm here to tell my story.
Hey, Warren Mason.
Hey, Ika.
We've had long chats about the kind of places that you want the tin camp to be in, and the really remote places keep coming up for you as well. Can you talk a little bit about those remote places and potentially some of the stuff about the off-grid plans that you have?
Yeah, well, it's always been this little setup. My music setup is off-grid. It's all battery operated, and I love that. So it was always a plan for the tin camp to be off-grid, and you could drop it in the desert anywhere. You could drop it wherever you want and be quiet and not have the generator run in the background, and most festivals have. And you could do stuff remotely. Just drop the shipping container off there, set it up. Everything comes in the container, the sound, the batteries. Yeah, I'm so lucky. There it is again. And it was all a dream, like it's just a dream that I had to just give people a space. I went to the Adelaide Fringe Festival. They have a side gig there where you can go and spruik your wares. So I went there as the tin camp, and they had people all sitting around like speed dating, and you just go and sit down and have a yarn to them and tell them how good you are. So I just went around everyone. I had my laptop, and I had this beautiful video and audio made from Bruny Island for a dear friend of mine. And I'd just put it down, and I'd lift it up and press play, and I'd say, I'm a space creator. And there's the space for people to sit and think and be. Yes?
I just want you to share how you recruited your performers at your first tin camp.
Yeah, that was like, people were just passing by, and I'd always have a guitar and my battery-powered amp set up, and I say, they'd go and they'd look and say, I've got a really special guitar. I've got a 1965 Fender Stratocaster, and it's a playing guitar. I love playing it. And I'd sit it on the stage, and people would come up and say, can I have a go? And I say, yeah, of course you can. Yeah. And they play, and I say, do you want to play tonight? And they say, yep. I said, okay, you're on at 6:30. 3 minutes to go. Right, I'm going to sing a song that finishes off. Is that all right? So this song is, I had a very dear friend. lost his fight with skin cancer, going back 2 years now. His daughter's my goddaughter. He was the first guy that I connected with when I first came to Tassie. We were surfing mates. We were just pretty close. But that nasty skin cancer only takes, once it gets into you, like it's a nasty one. And this is a song about his dog. His dog was loyal till the end. Our dog lay at the end of the bed with sadness in his eyes. His owner's been asleep now for 2 weeks, but he's never left his side. He's never left his side. There's a rustle in the sheets, and the dog's quickly to his feet, just to be by his owner's side. He's licking his hand, and the owner opens his eyes, and the dog smiles. Unconditional love, unconditional love, unconditional love, unconditional love. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm playing at the Songs for the Planet on Friday. See you there.